Hello, welcome back to the Armchair Armoury. Finished at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1. London is red. Or more specifically, North London is red. Yeah, fantastic performance. I thought that we definitely deserved to win the game. Despite what Jose Mourinho said at the end, which was he thought in the second half they were better and they were controlling, which didn't really happen until like the last 10 minutes. I suppose, yeah, it's just him being a sore loser, as he is. I guess the first place to start would be, as usual with Arsenal, controversy around the lineup. News came out about half an hour before the game that Aubameyang had been left out of the squad due to disciplinary reasons, according to Mikel Arteta. I was actually told by a friend of mine. I wasn't actually aware of it until I was told. So the first thing I thought that he'd been left out of the squad completely, but then I found out he was on the bench. Apparently he was late to the coach or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, he was left out, which obviously immediately makes you think, right, we're going into this without Aubameyang, with Lacazette up front, who occasionally misfires, and this could be with Kane and Son and Lucas Moura on the pitch for Tottenham, it's gonna be a tough afternoon, basically. But as I said, I personally believe we didn't look troubled at all, really, until like the last 10 minutes of the game. We dominated the first 10-15 minutes. There was a shot from outside the box by Emile Smith-Rowe that hit the bar. I think shortly after that, Son went off for them, which to most of us, we'd probably be thinking, oh well, that works in Arsenal's favour. I suppose it was in a way, but I still thought for small parts they competed a little bit for them. But as I said, for the most part, we were dominant. They took the lead, as they seem to always do of recent. Probably since the last days of Wenger, they've always taken leads most of the time taken leads in the North London derby. So they took the lead through Lamela, where there was a Rabano by him that seemed to come out of nowhere. I don't even think our players realised that it was, or thought that it was going to go in. Everyone just seemed to just watch it go past, basically. Nothing you can really do about it. No one's really at fault. It's just one of those things. But, in the context of the kind of first half an hour, 35 minutes, we should have really taken our chances. We deserved to be 1-0 up, and it was totally against the run of play. Then just before half-time, we get a break on the left-hand side through Tierney. He puts in a low cross into the box, which falls for Odegaard for him to score his second goal for the club in the space of 3 days. So, yeah, that was good. So we went in at half-time 1-1. And at that point, you kind of think to yourself, well, if we just build on this, we should come out on top. But at that point, I would have been, the way that Spurs have been playing recently, I would have been happy to come out of that with a draw compared to, our indifferent form at the moment and that kind of stuff. I did believe that we had the potential to go on and win it. Second half started pretty much the same as the first half, although Spurs looked a little bit better. I think we were the better team again on the whole. Then I think Saka, from what I'm hearing afterwards, Arteta said in his press conference that Saka was feeling hamstring pain. So he was substituted at half-time for Nicola Pepe, who looked very, very good. I think this guy should be starting more. He came on, and around the 64th minute, something like that, it was kind of back and forth up until then. Pepe intercepted a ball from their defence, putting a low long ball into Lacazette, who was through on goal, mistimed the ball, went to slice at it, and Davinson Sanchez went in with a high foot on him and clipped his shin. Referee gives a penalty. I see from after the game, Mourinho doesn't think it was a penalty. To me, it looked like a penalty. I don't know what rule they would be saying it wasn't. Again, with all the luck that Arsenal have had with VAR recently, I thought it was going to be overturned, but fortunately it wasn't. And Lacazette scores from the spot. So yeah, 2-1. Now this is where it gets interesting. So shortly after this, after being a shall we say house for most of the game, Eric Lamela gets sent off. And for some reason after that, Spurs seem to become amazing. They seem to be like the team that we thought we were going to be playing. They go down to 10 men and they're all over us. And I think that's still something that's a huge problem in our game at the moment, is that we fail to, or we struggle to manage games when we're winning, essentially. Yeah, it was weird. The biggest chance they had was they had a free kick on the right-hand side, which was taken by Kane. He took a shot at goal, it hit the post, came back out and fell to Davinson Sanchez, who kind of like tried to loop it over Leno, but luckily Gabriel got in the way and headed it clear. And I think for the last kind of 5-10 minutes after that, because that's the 5 minutes of normal time and the 5 minutes of extra time, we just about managed to pull through. And this is a big win for Mikel Arteta, because it's like the first North London derby that he's won. And what's better is that we've beaten Jose Mourinho, so that's good. I say that, but I actually kind of grew to like him after I watched the Amazon documentary. Yeah, it was as I tweeted out, it was a fantastic performance. I thought thoroughly deserved, and I hope we can use this to go on into Thursday against Olympiacos, and wrap up the tie and get into the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Let me just check quickly who we have next in the league. West Ham. That's going to be tough as well. So we got West Ham after that at the London Stadium, and they've been playing well. I don't know what the score is at the moment with them and Man United. I think Man United should win that. I mean, it's 0-0 at the moment, but yeah, I think Man United should probably win that. So yeah, hopefully after this we can go into Thursday and wrap up the tie against Olympiacos. And the advice I'd give to Arsenal fans about this Auba thing is, don't, like what Mikel Arteta said in his post-match interview, like, don't dwell on it, let's move on. Like, he hasn't got anything personal against the guy. It's just protocol that he broke, and it can't be one rule for one and one rule for another. I know people like their favourites and they like to defend their favourites. I've already seen people saying, oh, Willian didn't get the same discipline when he went to Dubai and all this kind of stuff. It's not true. I think he's treated the squad quite equally, to be fair. But anyway, let's not focus on that. We've beat Spurs, which is wonderful, as always. Right, player ratings. Leno, I'm going to give an 8. I didn't think his performance was especially amazing. He didn't really have to do very much, to be honest. And like I said, the goal that was conceded, it wasn't down to any sort of like bad positioning on his part or defensive errors. It was essentially just a freak skill that Lamela pulled off, and they didn't see coming, basically. Tierney, I'm going to give a 10. I thought Tierney was pretty much back to his best today. Gabriel, I'm going to give a 10, if not just for that block near the end of the game after Kane's free kick. But he was immense. Came for every ball, had Harry Kane in his pocket, basically. David Luiz, I'm going to give a 9. This is probably the best game he's played for a few games, actually. For once, his kind of running and long ball passes seemed to work today. But yeah, he didn't put a foot wrong either. Cedric, I'm going to give a 9. It's so good to have a slightly more informed right back compared to Bellerin. Again, his crossing was on point today. And he always looked threatening, which was good. Saka, I'll give a 5. I felt that, like, even though he was doing what he normally does, he just didn't quite have it today. So the injury probably had something to do with that. So I'll just give him a standard 5. Ødegaard, I'm going to give an 8. He looked really good today. Really looks like he's settling into that attacking midfield role. Scored the goal, obviously. Played another 90 minutes. Again, I don't think we're going to keep him, but while we've got him, we may as well use him. Partey, I'm going to give a 9. Again, didn't really put a foot wrong, apart from giving I think there was a free kick towards the end of the game where he kind of, I mean, it might be because he's new to the league and stuff like that, but Harry Kane always stands and just lets you back into him, so he just draws the foul all the time. But other than that, he was amazing. You know, this whole thing about Højbjerg being a world-class player, like I said in the preview, like, he isn't better than Thomas Partey, put it that way. Xhaka, I'm going to give a 9. Xhaka was immense today, I thought. Definitely has redeemed himself after that silly mistake against Burnley. Lacazette, I'm going to give an 8. I didn't really think that he played amazingly, but he played well enough. His hold-up play was really good. You know, the grittiness that I've gone on about before, he did that really well. And obviously got the penalty and scored the penalty, so can't give him any more than an 8, really. And then with the substitutes, Elneny, I'm going to give a 7, just because I feel in a good mood today, and he did okay to keep up the game management. Pepe, I'm going to give an 8. You know, it was from his pass that led to the penalty, and he looked bright from the moment he came on. And like I said earlier on, I think he should be starting more games now. He looks like he's definitely on form at the moment. And then finally, I'm going to give the manager a 9 today. I thought that, like, it was brave of him to put Auba on the bench after what had gone on, but it paid off. I felt that we tactically looked better than them from start to finish today. Everything that we wanted to do, we did. We bullied them, basically, for the most part. And then on top of that, like, I just loved the way at the end of the interview, when he was being pressed about the whole Auba thing, he was like, let's just move on. It is what it is. It's happened. We've got these rules in place. Someone broke it. I disciplined them. That's it. Let's move on. Let's enjoy this. So yeah, 9 for him. Yeah, that's it for this evening. So I will speak to you guys again for the preview for the second leg against Olympiacos. So until then, take care, stay safe. Depay signing out.